Okay.
Hello, internet.
This one's been done already. You see the width in the blue Dicom? That's your width. You see that blue mark, that blue ring? The white ring, sorry, this white clear ring, this one right here.
Like the one that's slanted inward?
Yes, that
Oh,
is your
yeah.
seat. Okay, so this one was already done. We're gonna redo it. You're gonna have a brand new one to do. Now on his, you can kind of see where the seat was hitting. Remember I said, look at the air passing through that seat. But you actually need to measure that. So, this is my intake side. There's bigger. Here's my exhaust. So let's pick a valve. Go ahead, pick a valve. We'll let Scott do it since it's his.
Intake, I guess.
So I mean, get your valves.
Ram it in there.
You're gonna do intake.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to get this one. Okay, now before you put it in, you're going to put Dicom on the valve.
Smells good.
It
Smells good, you said?
awesome. I like it.
Does it smell like paint?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a super.
Getting all high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
super
let me get
Sharpie.
some of that.
This is machinist Dicom, okay? So it allows you to, they will literally paint full sheets of metal and then scratch everything where it needs to get cut. So it lets you, it literally, you could scratch it and it picks up the die, okay? So it's a way to visually see what's going on. You gotta let it kind of dry.
And this right here is to measure the diameter. Oh, the valve.
You guys like it? Yeah. Some people like it, some people hate it. Now, we do need water. I had a little water bottle, but I think I threw it away.
I could spit.
Sunoco.
Can I get a little bit of your
Sunoco
water?
100 octane. I like to sit at the
Here,
Sinclair
we'll
right
just
by
put a little tiny bit in here.
the intersection right by the freeway by my house.
Is that
gluten-free water?
Here.
Is that
from your
gluten-free
store.
water?
There, perfect. Okay, we usually just lick it and stick it on, but due to COVID, we're not licking and sticking it, okay?
That's right.
Leave it to me to be totally inappropriate. Okay. Come here. All right, so this is valve grinding compound. Okay, now this is usually not done by technicians unless you get a bare head and you're asked to put the valves back and you want to double check to make sure the seats are right. So this is like a last check after the machining's done to see the clearance. Does that make sense? You're not going to put it together if it's totally wrong because your name's on that ticket and the customer will complain to you. Okay? So you put a little bit of compound on here. Okay? Yeah, it's a little bit. You put a little compound on here. Just kind of like in a couple spots.
Tip, tip, tip.
Am I even recording?
Yes.
Okay.
I press record.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure that the camera's actually on that valve. Okay, now, if you guys want to feel it, you can feel it. It's got very fine sand in it. So you guys can pass this around. You could even touch the lid. So you understand what it is. You don't want to get this in your engine at all after the fact. You'll wash it when you're done with this stuff. Okay? Or you'll get the paper towels with the alcohol and wipe it down. Okay? That will take rings and eat them like breakfast. Okay? So, where's your trash?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
So go ahead and take this valve. Put it in the guide.
See it.
There you go. So you got two different sizes. Usually this is for your exhaust. We'll try to use this one for your intake. Now this is where you kind of have to suction cup it. So I just wet it a little bit.
That water smells.
Go ahead and push
musty.
it. It's not. It's Ed Boon's. It's not
You
bad.
should have gotten my water. My
No,
water
you
smells
here.
good.
Drink your water. Okay. Now take your hands and you're gonna grind it back and forth. Keep going hard. There you go. That's
wait,
actually kind
End reloader, that's ingenious.
So tell me that.
Suck it up.
It's so simple. It is simple. And you're doing something they did 100 years ago. All right.
You didn't tell me
So
that.
now take it out.
Well, you weren't at the-
Pull it right up with that. I'm trying to find a towel or a rag.
So what did that do?
Yeah, just pop an edge.
There you go.
Perfect.
What's up with that?
A performance tool.
Here,
A lot of us are dead in
okay. Wipe down your valve.
Whip.
Just like compound it.
This is used to see exactly where it sits.
Do you guys stop touching my head, please?
That's
Okay, wipe that down too. Wipe your seat
Oh,
down.
that's kind of
Okay,
cool.
leave it up here so we can see on the camera.
so when the boomers come in the store and they ask for valve.
All
they're
right,
compound.
now we gotta measure.
So what exactly?
So
did
you're
this cause?
looking
like
at the
super white.
contact. So you're looking at the width on the valve. So you're looking at this width on the valve.
Uh-huh.
You're also looking at the margin. You see the blue at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking to see if it's even. It's real thin right here.
And then it's almost
And then it
gone.
thickens.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, so it shouldn't be uneven. If it's ground correctly, it shouldn't be uneven. And it can't have a margin too far to the ends because it can mess with the intake and the sealing. You also want to look at the seat. The seat, this one's actually pretty good. It's even, it's not narrow on one point, too wide on one point, and it's centered. It's not off to one side. Does that make sense? So, margin on the valve, it might get a spec or not. Everybody's different. They could give you different measurements for different brand names. Does that make sense? Like for the springs, these Hondas, they only want you to measure height. Not how much it will squeeze down, not if it springs back, but I'm gonna show you all of them. That way when you read it and you get to a nice engine and it says it should have 80 pounds at 2 inches, then you know how to do it, okay? So on here we did an intake valve, okay? We have a standard or new, and then we have a service limit, okay? So let's go with the inches. It's 0.063 inches. Right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
0.063 inches. Okay, and that's seat width. So is it talking about this or that? That's where it sits.
Yeah.
That's its seat. Guess what? Use your caliper. People's not rocket science, and this is why every machinist is followed for their hand skills.
Huh.
Make sure it's not locked.
The Tom Hanks.
Okay, it's on 0. Yeah.
360.
Okay.
I have. They don't even see.
My eyeballs think it's right here, but I also don't have good light.
Hold up.
Light. Let's get some light.
70.
Oh shit! I lost
Three.
my phone.
That's out.
Father?
The outside one, you're just going.
It's okay.
You could use
So-
the inside
It happens all-
one.
it
That's
happens all the time.
that's up to you. But see, you're not even. You would have to use it.
Yeah, it's like not even open at
That's
all.
up to you guys. If you want to use the outside one and go from the inside out, or do you want to go the width? Does that make sense? So it
The width of the seat is the thickness of the seat. Not.
No, it's the width.
not the thickness of the seat, where it sits.
It's the length of the area the valve sits on.
Where's your phone?
Dog, I don't have it.
The seat. Okay, hold on. Grayson. Huh?
That's this.
Okay, look at.
Yeah, that's the area of the.
Okay, let me see. Move this. The seat itself, the seat without it being ground down, is this whole piece right here. It goes up to here. So this whole thing is a seat,
Okay.
but it's ground down. This is actually the seat width because this is what's sealed. This is like your door gasket. This, with this, is that door gasket.
I was just thinking width would be across the.
No, that's diameter.
The width of the.
The width of the seat, not the diameter. Because that's, yeah. That's
Can't
not-
you also just
The majority of them of the seats, they're gonna be slanted inwards, right?
They are all slanted in. You have a 3-angle job. You cut it in 3 places. If I had a problem with the seat and it was too wide, which this one is, I could take a stone and cut the inside and that will make that narrower.
What?
Wait, what? If the seat is too wide, you can cut it and what?
Yeah.
I
you
would
can
cut-
the angle right off of it.
I would cut in here. If I cut this off, it's gonna cut it and make it narrower.
Oh,
If I have that,
Okay. Oh, you're gonna round off the corners.
and
Okay,
this
makes
is
sense.
where the seat sits.
No, she's literally just gonna take this.
Right?
Okay.
Well, it's usually more, it sits right here, the seat is right here, right?
Okay.
Let's say that's too wide. I measure it and I go, it's too big. I fucked up. I sat on a stone and it cut it too much, right? I could go in and I could cut this and it makes it narrower.
Oh.
But you get to the point and you mess up.
Yeah, there's no more
But
material
can-
left.
Or
Wait.
you could cut the top side. It depends on the machine is.
That displacement wouldn't be felt
There is no displacement.
because if you're shaving it down, isn't
You
it?
need a special amount. You're trying to make it like factory do.
Is there like a certain amount of times that you can machine that?
Yes.
there's no
that's why
seat
you have
left?
to measure it.
Okay.
Once you get out of that range, you're done.
Down.
So a machinist can decide to do the inside, depending on what they feel, what they know, what they've done. Or they could sit on that outside edge, couldn't they? If this is my space of my seat, can I sit and maybe make a cut like that to make this smaller?
Yeah.
So you got 3 angles to play with.
Oh shit.
This angle has to be right. And that means the valve also has room to play with and grind down. You could grind the face of, now the valve has to sit in here like this,
closely of that
Right?
angle, of that angle, of that
and this has to hit here. Can I grind the valve up here to help it? Usually they just grind 1 angle on that one. You got a 1 degree interference between the two. Okay? But you can clearly see where the seat is.
You could cut this seat.
See it? Okay, this is that station,
Or
valve
you can
station,
make
just
that
checking the seat. If you're working by yourself, do at least 2 cylinders minimum.
Can you also
Okay.
check just the valve?
The
Right here?
margin, now, on this spec, they don't actually give you valve margin, they give you valve seat, but they don't actually give you valve, so they don't actually give you anything for this Honda. But if you look at it, you can see there's something up with it slightly, it's thicker here. Now,
It is on the back side.
you have the one that we suspect was leaking.
Yeah.
It might look a little different. It might be narrow at that point or something's up with that. So maybe his will show some signs. This has been done before, you could tell. If you notice, exhaust is thicker than intake.
Oh, okay.
More heat.
Okay, so does that kind of make sense? Like why this is like a final measuring assembly step, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a.
that's your valve lapping, okay? They also do this as a last step to make sure this machine surface and that machine surface go together nicely. They're kind of ground down a little bit and they mesh. It's kind of like doing the final cut on rotors.
If you cut the seat, are you gonna have to cut the valve?
No, not necessarily. You do this and you check it. You do it and you re-dye it and you check it until you get to the point where you like it. This is why it's a skill.
So
This is-
this is what I'm understanding. The dye is simply just to understand how the valve is
So you could
sitting
see it.
inside.